Hi, I'm Michal Lepore at the Talking Camera, and today we are launching episode 1 of Battery Recharge. I'm super excited to relaunch my podcast. It's been a minute, and today is all about recharge. I have the super amazing Heather Nixon from the Intimate Art Society. Heather, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing really, really good. I'm super excited to have you. Um, I've been following your Intimate Art Society for about 3, 4 months now, and I'm kind of excited about it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a new adventure and there's a lot going on. I'm really excited about all of it though.
I mean, that's kind of the story of your life, though. You are a Marine, a divorced mom of 3, you have a 6-figure studio, and now you're launching an organization for boudoir photographers.
Yeah, I pretty much I love the thrill. I think that's part of my problem. And I love the unknown of like what's kind of next. And if I don't have an unknown, then I create one for myself. So once I conquer a goal, I'm like, okay, what's next? What are we doing now? And so we just keep rolling. And so
Is
here
it
we
is
are.
it like a dopamine chase, or you're just like in love so much with what you do?
I think it's a mix. I definitely love the dopamine, obviously, but I really do love what I do, and I feel like this has given me an opportunity to expand on everything that I've learned and like just created over the past 10 years and really just make a little bit of a shift in myself and mix things up a little bit. So here we are. Yeah.
So beyond what I said, the marketing, the pre-written bios, who's Heather Nixon, and what's the legacy you're hoping to build?
So obviously, like you mentioned, so I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I'm a mom. I have 3 boys, so a boy mom at that. So
Oh,
really,
geez, I know
that
what that's like.
yeah. Um, and I kind of, like you mentioned as well. So I've been divorced. I am remarried, and my husband now is absolutely incredible. I don't think I would be where if I am now if it wasn't for him. But truly, I'm a go-getter. And I think that kind of ties back into being a Marine Corps veteran. Like, cause I know when I joined the Marine Corps, when I was 18, I went to tell my parents, and my dad literally, he responded, he was like, "Are you sure that's what you want to do? Are you sure that's a branch you want to go into?" And I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I go big. Like, I'm not someone that half-asses things at all. I'm always
You're
like
not Army, you're Marines.
right. Like I'm like, no, I want to do the hardest route, the hardest branch. And I feel like that's been the path of my life. And I'm okay with that. Like it keeps, like I was kind of saying earlier about like the unknown. It's kind of one of those things where I don't know exactly where it's going to lead or what's going to happen, but I love that thrill of knowing, what's next? Where's this going to take us and what are we going to do? So,
I love
um,
hearing that. All right,
yeah.
so Intimate Art Society Awards is happening with so many photography groups, competitions out there. Why launch the IAS, and what's the driving force behind that?
I think really the driving force has been because I feel like, couple of different factors. Most competitions you always that you really look into for boudoir photographers, a lot of times there's very few, I should say this. There are very few that are just for boudoir photographers. But the ones that are really big out there are boudoir is just a category. And a lot of times those submissions that you see in those categories are more of like the fine art editorial boudoir and not the boudoir that we're creating every day in our studios for our clients. And I really wanted to make a shift so that we could really celebrate that work that we are creating every single day for our clients. Running a full studio myself, I know the type of work that I create for them that leaves an impact on them. And I feel like that should be the work that's acknowledged, not the work that is just the picture perfect example of what, a photograph should look like kind of thing. But then also the other factor that ties into it is the community aspect. I feel like there are so many different groups and different things like that for photographers across the board. But throughout the years, I've seen the shift of like groups come and go. And, there's so many education platforms out there, but I really wanted to make the Independent Art Society be something that can be a celebratory moment for us to all come together and celebrate each other as a whole, rather
Which is
than
why you added in the gala.
right, which is why I created the gala, because it's instead of it just being a competition where you submit your images and you're like, okay, here's your stamp that gets to go on your website that says you won an award for your image. No, it's a night where we get together and truly celebrate each other. You get to accept your award on stage, and then the after parties where we really get to mingle and hang out with each other and truly grow those bonds and connections with other boudoir photographers.
I love that.
Yeah.
I really like that. And I have noticed in the Facebook group, the community is there. The community is participating, and it's not just a regurgitation of the same post every week. There's actual people who are making it lively, which I really enjoy. All right,
Yeah.
so you're a multi six-figure photographer. For most photographers, they're like, "We're good. That's enough." And you're just like, "There's more I want to do." Why add this extra workload when you're juggling so much already?
I run a successful studio, and I am the photographer. I don't have associate photographers. I have an assistant and I have a brand studio manager, so I have that. But I don't know. I feel like I feel like it seems silly when I say this. I feel like I've mastered my studio, and it's running, it's smooth, everything's great. Like, we're booking and we're staying booked and everything's good with that. And I just really I wanted a little bit of a passion project, because I feel like when you don't have anything that you're truly passionate about, whether it's on the side or, you're able to profit from it or whatever, I feel like you lose a little bit of that fire. So for me, it's been something that I've wanted to do for years. And this year I decided, you know what? We're going to do it this year. I've had this idea for how long now, and I haven't done anything on it. And I really wanted I wanted to ignite my own flame just a little bit again as well.
And there was a moment online where I was commenting and I was suggesting a judge that I would like to see in the future. And I used the words, "This is a for-profit company." And you made a point to clap back and make sure that you said, "This is a passion project," which means so much to me, because people who put their passion into this, rather than we're going to make some money and we're going to judge some people, and it separates the people who are trying to do this for the money and the people who actually care and want to step forward and say, "Guys, we're all doing amazing. Let's celebrate it." And
Yeah.
I could feel that with how you responded. And it's how we ended up in this conversation. And I'll tell you what, you won me over just by that.
I appreciate that. And I mean, it's true, because I know you had even mentioned, like, maybe if they were a 501(c)(3) or whatever, nonprofit instead, and that there's a lot that goes into that and making that decision. But at the end of the day, I look at it like, I just want to see this succeed. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see it be successful. I want to
She's like,
be
"I'm
able
going
to
to do the thing. We're doing it."
exactly. So I'm like, this is the easiest way to get this going, get this ball rolling, and then eventually I could see it changing. I don't care about the profit. I'm profitable in my studio. This makes me happy. I'm able to do what I need to do here. I
You're
just
like, "We're
wanted
going
to.
to dress up. I'm going to wear my
Yes,
fancy gown. I'm going to get a sponsorship to give me one of those fancy gowns.
exactly.
Versace, where you at?"
Yeah, I know, right? I'm over here like messaging, Louis Vuitton, be like, you want to give me some heels for that night? That'd be great. No, it's been one of those things that anyone that I talk to and mention like anything about the gala, people are genuinely excited to dress up and celebrate each other, because that doesn't exist for us. We don't get that recognition in that way. And so anytime I talk about it, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you say black tie, I get to go buy a dress, we get to go get fancy for the night." That brings so much excitement to everyone. So I know it's going to be a great night.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears and let's talk about burnout, the weight of business, because both of us have been in the business. We both had our share. So let's focus on that. So, as a Marine, you're wired to put your head down and run every aspect goal oriented. When you hit a wall, because we all hit a wall. What did that look for you? And when did you realize that grit alone wasn't enough?
Yeah, I mean, I've hit a wall many times, many times, especially after doing this for so long and being so busy because I shoot 3 to 4 clients a week. And so there's so many times where I get done with a week and I just feel like I lived on repetition. And when you live in that repetition, it creates burnout because you're not using that other part of your brain for that creativity. So, it's been a struggle throughout the years, just trying to figure that out. But I think that's genuinely why I ended up even pushing myself to really create the gala and create the awards platform and everything, because I needed that creativity outlet for myself. But other than that, like really trying to make time for those creative shoots when I can is extremely helpful, because burnout is real and it happens to everyone. If you get stuck in that, I call it like a hamster wheel, because that's what it feels like. You're just like every day doing the same thing. So
what's interesting, as a male boudoir photographer, a lot of people are like, oh, you must love what you do. And it's not like that for me. It's about, telling a love story between a person and themselves. But having those creative passion projects outside of boudoir and doing something totally different, those are what re-energize me over and over again. It's just doing something different. I have like a dance shoot lined up just to do a creative, artistic light painting with dance. And it's something that I'm never going to offer, but it's something that I know for me is going to give me the energy of, man, I created something cool today. Not that what I do isn't cool, and I create amazing work, but having that little extra of, I made something unique today.
It's
really
exciting from that every day, because when you have, for me, when like with my business, like there is structure to it. There has to be structure in business, otherwise it falls apart. So there's structure to my everyday sessions, but having those like side quests, or however you want to call it, it does help, because then, like I just did that last week, I had a client that actually asked me if I would do a session with her in her house. She had a very specific room that was decorated. She wanted it in there. Normally I would say absolutely not. Like, I just don't have the time for it. I went out of my way and I was like, we're going to push ourselves. Because I was like, I need to go do something that's going to get all my, my brain pushing its limits.
You've seen the same set over and over again. You're like, something new. Let's do it.
Yeah, you have to. I think doing those, like I said, side quests, passion projects, that is what truly is going to help that burnout from happening. Is it still going to happen? Solid possibility it will, but that doesn't mean.
One of my side quests is now going through my photos and figuring out which one I'm going to enter into this award competition thing.
Yeah.
That's my current side quest that I have to figure out pretty quick. Let's switch gears a little bit more and talk about how photography is your therapy, and not just emotional but physical, because that's something you talk about on your webpage, and it's something that hits home for me, because I got into photography full time because my wife and I had a miscarriage, and photography was my therapy. So dive into that a little bit for me and how this has transformed you.
Absolutely. I think a lot of boudoir photographers have similar stories there for that therapy aspect. So, personally speaking, I when I was in the Marine Corps, I was actually sexually assaulted, and it was a rough situation, to say the least. But it truly, it made me view myself differently. And throughout the years, like I just kind of pushed it aside, and I didn't realize until I got with my husband now, and went through my divorce and all of that, that I had suppressed that side of me, I guess. I don't want to say sensual side, but just that overall, like, loving myself more so. And so
the first time into the mirror differently.
Yes. And so the first time I did boudoir, I was like, oh, okay. That, it became more like I was intrigued by it. And then the more I did it, the more I was watching my clients' reactions and like how much it was impacting them. And it was healing for them. And it became healing for myself as well, because a
Raise
lot
your
of them
hand
are,
if you ever cried with clients.
oh, so many times, so many
Many
times. They said they're looking at their images, and I'm like, if you start crying, I'm gonna start crying, and we're gonna be crying together, and that's okay. I literally have a box of tissues that sits here underneath my
Same.
TV, look through their pictures. It happens all the time.
All the time.
Not cries, but there are some times where you just really, that it's healing that deep wound for them. And so for me, it became healing to see that they were being healed through the experience. And it's even pushed me to now I get in front of the camera quite frequently now. And I've had multiple sessions myself, but before I even did boudoir, I hadn't even before I even photographed boudoir, I had never even had a session myself. And so that pushed me to do that as well. But it's been a healing journey, and it's been beautiful. It really, really has.
Yeah, it hits different than I've tried every type of photography, and it
Yeah,
hits so different.
it really
So
does.
different.
I mean, shooting boudoir is not nearly. I mean, it's not as emotionally impactful as like wedding photography. Like you're there for the day, and yes, the whole day is emotional, but it's not the same. It's not.
It's not. I love both of them. I still shoot weddings. I love telling that love story between a couple and between themselves. So then when I
Yeah,
get to do the wedding and their boudoir shoots, it's just fireworks for me because I get to
yeah.
tell all the love stories. Um, all
Yeah,
right,
see,
so
now we need to get into couples boudoir. That's a whole nother thing. We can talk about that another
I
day. But
know. I love it. So, boudoir still carries a taboo in society. It's suppressed online, social media, and people look at it in this form like what we're shooting is not art.
Mhm.
How is this new platform actively challenging that societal view on this industry? And what are those goals?
Oh man, I I do think it's challenging it because that was one of the main reasons, one of the many reasons why I started all of it, because I do find that our stuff is suppressed online, and it's not. We put it out there and hope that it gets acknowledged because we look at it and we're like, I feel amazing about the art that I created. I want to share it with everyone. And then you post it and it gets flagged and taken down right away. And so this is truly that opportunity for us to celebrate it for what it deserves. And whether it be, it wins an award or it's just a finalist or you're just submitting and you're hoping to get some solid feedback from the judges, because that's an option for people to do. They can ask for critiquing, which is awesome.
Highly
But it's just,
recommend.
yes. Um, but overall, it's just a way for it to be appreciated for what it is, just because I feel like like I said, it gets taken down right away, or does it, we go off of like the like counts that it gets. And I just feel like it should be acknowledged.
It's more than the like and the reactions. I
Mhm. It
totally feel
is.
that. All
Yeah.
right, let's dive into the IAS, the Intimate Art Society. Um, let's address the skeptics in the room because I was a number one skeptic. This industry is flooded with paid membership directories, awards. How are you responding to those photographers who might wonder if IAS is just the same thing, another product?
So it's not another product at all. The way I look at it is it's the way it's structured is it's set up to essentially just fund itself. To me, my goal is, and I know when I posted that and I said that, there was a few people that were like, but wait, Heather, you deserve to get paid. And I'm like, I get that. Okay. Like, I'm not trying to I
There's
understand.
successful non-for-profits that make money that satisfy their needs.
Right. But I want to take every single part of this and wrap it back into what it is. I want to put it back into the night of the gala, put it into the trophies themselves are incredible. I should have had one out and I don't. It's in the other room. But that thing is massive. I don't know if you've seen it. It is not anything small by any means.
Is it
But
compensating a little bit?
no, it's 14. Actually, I have a tape measure. Where's my tape measure at? Here it is. It's 14. I was measuring something earlier. It's 14 and a half inches tall. So it's that tall. okay, like bigger than my head, and it weighs 10 pounds. So this thing is not, it's not small, but I want every single dollar, whether it be from sponsorship, whether it be from the whole Friends of the Society thing, because I've had people ask me about that. They're like, what's the point in Friends of the Society? It's basically just any money that is given to the Independent Art Society is wrapped right back into it, and that's what's literally creating it. It's photographers creating this for photographers, for boudoir photographers in general. Because we don't have that. We don't have that platform, and I feel like we deserve it. So,
I love that because I look at it this way. There's people who want to do it as a passion, and then there's people who want to do it for money. And the ones that want to do it for passion have a much better product because they're constantly trying to revamp it, where the people doing it for product and profit are just like, all right, what can we tweak to make this make more money? And you can sense and you can feel when that happens. And there's been nothing short of that watching this so far unravel and unfold. And I'm really excited.
Yeah, I've tried to make it so that people, if they have opinions or thoughts, like I like to be very open to everything.
You're like, shoot me a message. Let's talk about it. I'll tell you what's up.
Yes. If you have questions, send me a message. If you have ideas, if you're like, this could be better, please tell me. I'm all ears. I've learned so much this year. It's been wild and I love it.
That's what happens when you push yourself into things that you weren't planning on doing.
Exactly.
Kind of like boudoir.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I've had a lot of photographers step up and ask, how can I help? What can I do? And it has been incredible to see the community come together. And it's not just me. It really is not just me. There's so many other boudoir photographers that are helping take time, like they're not getting paid either, but taking time to really go in, and whether it's sending emails or posting on Instagram or posting in the group, like everyone is really wanting to see this come together. So it's not just me, and I'm very thankful for everyone that's reached out.
That type of community. I love that. So yeah, major complaint about photo competitions and educational spaces is that they often can feel like popularity contests. Judges of inner circles are winning. People who probably shouldn't be participating are participating and then winning. How are you ensuring the IAS judging process stays objective, fair, and focused strictly on the art?
Yeah. So every image that's submitted, it's blindly judged. So the judges are not seeing the names of people who are submitting them. They're not seeing the studios. They don't know who is submitting. And there is a rule for the judges that if they recognize the image or they recognize like the studio per se, then they are supposed to opt out and send it to another judge so that way it can be judged fairly. But then the other component that goes into that is one thing. If you go look at the judging panel, you'll see there is a wide range of types of boudoir photographers that are on the list on purpose. Whenever I went into, because I was taking recommendations from people as well, like anytime if I thought about one person, I was like, I really feel like they should be a judge. Whenever I had that conversation with them, I would ask them, is there anyone that you feel like should be on the panel that you know of? And so then they would give me a list and I would look at those and then I'd, go look at their work. And so the idea is that everyone on the judging panel has a very unique and different perspective from the other, whether it be the type of boudoir that they photograph or the business that they run. I don't even want to say not all of them are necessarily super successful boudoir photographers, but the key in that is you can still know how to create amazing art and understand it without, business is a whole nother side of things.
I don't view being a successful artist related to money. Granted, being a successful business owner, you want money, but as an artist, it's all about that passion and finding what you create hits. And yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So every single judge comes to the table with something different, a different perspective, a different set of knowledge and skills in their own work. And so I'm really excited to see how this year pans out, because I feel like I said, each of them have a different perspective that they're bringing to the table, and that makes it truly unique. But then also, like, it is completely unbiased because they have no idea who they're judging, where the image came from.
All right. So I took a year and a half off from doing a podcast. I kind of put down the talking camera for a while. I needed my own battery recharge. And I want to know, how could the IAS be a battery recharge for other people?
I think it's going to be a battery recharge in a few different ways. Obviously, and I don't think we've talked about it, but there is an education component that goes into the day of, which is great because it's, to me, it's an amazing opportunity to get in and get some solid education from these educators. But there's going to be 6 different speakers there that morning of, and it's basically they're going to get 30-minute increments to sit there and talk about, their subject or their topic that they're speaking about. But it's only $129. So for $129, you can sit there and listen to 6 different educators, and then also wrapped into that is breakfast. But it's more mingling and talking, and it's not just like a conference where you're going to sit down and just listen. And that's going to be it. It's supposed to be an interactive moment for each speaker. So there's that, but then also the recharging. I know I recharge when I get together with other boudoir photographers, whether it's, that moment of just creating art and photographing each other or hanging out. And I truly feel like when you have those connections with other photographers, it helps you grow as a person. And anytime that I've ever gone to any event, I leave there and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got so many ideas. Like, I'm ready to go back and I'm ready to start doing things. And I feel like if you don't go to the education part, go to the gala and experience that and connect with others so that they can reignite your fire and you can start fueling yourself again to create more art. Or they might fuel you up and make you feel like, you know what, you're right, I do need to change my pricing. I can do this. It's going to be a moment of connections and sparks that happen. I know it. So yeah, that's what's going to happen.
You know it because you've lived it. You've attended different events, and those were the things that you walked away with. Was, even if it was the smallest bit of knowledge, it was just that one little thing. Even if it was just a phrase, it just reignites you and like, oh my gosh,
you're like,
I need to get back to the workboard.
Yes, sometimes because you get stuck in those ruts, like we were saying, you get stuck on the hamster wheel. And so sometimes all it takes is one person, obviously there's going to be a lot more than one person there. So it takes one person saying one thing to you and you're like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to go back and change everything. That's it. We're going to change it all. And then everything starts firing off again.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So anyone who's listening to this and they're still on the fence about either entering or going to the gala, describe entering into this space. I want to hear what the colors look like. I want to hear all the details. Sell me the gala and why I should go rent a tie and suit and stuff.
Yeah.
What's the doors going to look like when I open them?
So the gala the theme of the night is going to be emerald green and gold. So very
prepared.
I know, right? So lots of drapery, which is very neat because these event planners that I'm working with, they sent me this mood board and I am just in love with the mood board. They actually emailed me this morning and we're going to start talking about vendors. So that's going to be happening very, very soon. But essentially when you walk through the door, there's supposed to be drapery. Think like what's behind you with the curtains, long drapery, emerald green, different warm lights, candlelight, things like that kind of essence, that mood. And then we'll walk in, there will be a VIP area and then there will be the general admission area. VIP is a little bit early access to everything. They're going to get a special cocktail hour that's going to have, we're looking at entertainment of a few different options, but things that we're looking at that I can speak of are like a contortionist or an aerial artist, things like that we're going to really tie in the night that makes it exciting. And then everyone will have table places that they'll be assigned different, tables throughout the room. And then we'll have the grand stage that's where the night's going to be hosted at. We have an amazing host that's going to be kind of leading the night and MC. He's actually a boudoir photographer himself, and so that's going to be exciting. And just leading the night that's going to go through all of the awards and presenting them on stage, and people will be able to accept their award on stage. And then after everything is said and done, not that the lights weren't low before, but we're going to really turn them down low, and then we'll have the DJ come out, and he's going to basically think of like the after party of a wedding, like except even better. And that's where we're really going to have a chance to have fun and just celebrate each other for the rest of the evening. So it's going to be a night that I mean, I've never seen it before. So, but I'm envisioning it in my mind, and it's going to be
So
really
if you were to scale this between your wedding and the gala, is it going to be better than your wedding? Is that the goal?
Well, my wedding was really small, so my wedding doesn't count.
Oh.
My wedding only had like 90 people at it, so my wedding was pretty small. But we're estimating ticket sales overall is 250 tickets for the evening. So
that's a big event.
It's a big event. Yeah. And I mean, we've already, because we have like that, like I was saying earlier, we have friends of the society, which are just people that have essentially believed in it first, and they've put down a little bit of money just to get it first access to tickets and submission discounts and stuff. From that, we've already sold, last I counted, there was 24 tickets that have sold from that. So those are just the friends of the society and that's before everyone else has tickets. So, or access to tickets. So, I have a feeling it's going to sell out. I just have a solid feeling. So
I mean, I can feel that. Like I can feel that energy. Like when you put something into the universe, you can make it come true. And I can tell just from this little bit of talking with you that you're a go-getter and things are going to happen when you put it down on paper and push for it.
Yeah, so I'm a believer in that as well.
We've come to close, and here's the last question of today. How can people enter and find more about the IAS?
So there's a website, theintimateartsociety.com. Pretty simple there. There is the submission page on there that has the platform, which I didn't even really talk about that, but the platform was built. I had that personally built by a software engineer because we got turned down from other platforms because we're boudoir photographers and they didn't want to host it. So that platform was built specifically for this, but they can go register their email, register as a photographer so they can submit their work. It's pretty easy and straightforward. Submissions are going to close August 26th. So this month, here in 23 days to be exact. But then information on the gala is on the website as well. And then obviously there's a Facebook group, the Intimate Art Society Awards Facebook group. And then there's the Instagram that's just the Intimate Art Society. So lots of different ways that they can
lots of different ways. What is the cost of something like this?
So submissions, just to submit an image, is $35 without any sort of discounts at all. So it's $35. And then access to the gala, general admission is $297 per person, and then VIP is $497. So I've told it again, so many details that I forget to mention here. VIP also gets VIP gift bags, which are going to be stuffed to the brim with goodies and things from sponsors that have donated items, as well as things that we're going to be purchasing and stuff like that. So those bags are going to be packed to the brim.
So does that cover a hotel also, or is hotel
It does not cover a hotel, but we do have someone that's in the group. He actually just posted about a hotel block that's been set up for us for people close by. So if anyone's interested in that, he made a post in the Facebook group. I'm sure he'll post it again. It's about the DoubleTree that's close by. So if you want to
Dallas, Texas.
It is in Dallas, Texas. Yes. Awesome. So and everything is pretty close and close knit, so it's not too far away.
Well, Heather, thank you so much for taking time to help me relaunch my podcast, help recharge some batteries. You have a great rest of your day, and thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and I can't wait to hear other episodes that you create.
All right. Take care, everyone.